Hi guys, welcome back to North Texas Prepper, and just wanted to do a video on the way to work here. Nice rainy day. It is about 6:45 in the morning, and like what, March, let's see, 14, 15, 16, 17, March 18th, 2020. Well guys, a few things have happened, you know, not family wise, but that have hit kind of close to home with the CV. And the biggest thing is that my wife works for a major retailer. She's a GM at one of the older, very, very popular malls in Dallas, and originally they had this weekend reduced their hours. She was off Saturday through Monday, and she got the email that they were going to reduce their hours, so they did that. And then she found out yesterday before she went in that when she closed at 6 o'clock last night, they were not going to come back until April 2nd. So then there's that. This morning's traffic at this time it's a little bit heavier than the traffic has been earlier this week, the past couple days, but it's nowhere near this time of morning on the rush hour traffic. This would just be, I mean, backed up at the lights, and it's not. So there's a lot of people off the road, a lot of people staying home due to work being closed, schools being closed. In Dallas County, and I think surrounding counties in the major metroplexes, they have stopped all in-restaurant dining. It can only be carry out or delivery, or, like, you know, drive up. So there's that going on. Let's see what else has been going on here. I'm trying to think. Just, I mean, I wanted to talk about also, and I'll just go into that. These people that say, you know, martial law in 2 days, nationwide lockdown in 2 days or a week, whatever. Man, you got to be real careful with that stuff. That's really just what's creating the hysteria, because what happens in today's society and internet is it gets shared and shared and shared and shared, and it just goes so viral with some of those messages that have no facts behind them. You just have to be really careful, and, you know, try not to create fear. I mean, the fear is already there for people. You know, whether you're a Trumper or not doesn't matter to me. I've come to the point where I can literally not even complete a full news briefing, because I just, especially when the president's talking, and I know, listen, here's the thing. Dan Bongino explained at one time why the president uses these superlatives all the time and everything. It's because of the place he grew up in, New York. That's just the way they are. Everything's incredible. Everything's, you know, super, you know, we're breaking. That's where all that comes from. But in reality, maturity-wise, you know, it is stroking the ego some when he's talking about we're breaking records, you know, and yada yada. And then he brings Pence up, and all Pence says is the president did the greatest thing ever when he shut the borders down. I agree with that, I really do, but it's just, I just can't listen to it anymore. And so then there's that. the other thing is, yes, do you need to be prepared with food, water, and whatever supplies you can get at this time? I mean, I haven't been able to find a mask anywhere. We've got some of the nicer ones. I haven't been able to find like any N95s, and I'm not like diligently seeking them. Whenever I go somewhere, I look, and that's it. The places I normally would have found them, they're not there. So seems like we've got plenty of the the gloves and everything, but the main thing is we hopped on it very early on and was able to get hand sanitizer wipes. Not a lot. I mean, I had 2 big ones that I had bought and prepped like 2 years ago. I think they had 2018 written on them. And then 3 weeks ago, when my son and I first said, you know what, we might want to start adding some things to what we have already, and we went to Sam's, and at that time Sam's didn't have any hand sanitizer left, but there were places that did, and my wife was able to pick up several of the medium-sized bottles and then some boxes of the hand sanitizer wipes, which I like a lot, for just using for wiping things down. But look, that stuff is not the end of the world if you don't have it. Just wash your hands more and more and more, and do your best to get in the habit of not putting your hands on your face. When you start being conscious of it, it's hard. I mean, you realize how often you do it, but after a couple days, you can really get to the point where you're not doing it. So that's important. But just that basic hygiene of washing your hands, and they say you need to do it for vigorously for 20 seconds or more, and get in between the fingers and the thumb and the space between the thumb and the forefinger, just that kind of thing. But okay, then there's the people that ask the question, and they remind me of atheists. Well, do you know anybody that directly that has gotten it? No, you don't. So this is made up, and it's this and that and the other. Well, my answer is yes. I have a friend's brother who is in self-quarantine right now because he came in direct contact with somebody over the weekend, and was concerned about the people that he had come in contact since then. So he made the calls he needed to make. They said self-quarantine for a minimum of 14 days. That's what he's doing. So, these people, the only way I can put it is I believe they're in denial. I just believe they're in denial, but you do have the people now that in the beginning was saying, oh, this is just another flu, and it's just going to be, everybody's making a big deal about it, and these idiots are going out and buying all this toilet paper and all this food and hand sanitizer. Well, now those people are out trying to find products and food, and they're having a heck of a time. There's plenty of food out there. They're out of certain staples and things, but now I haven't been in the stores for 3 days now. Sunday was my last day. My wife went last night. We heard that you can freeze bread. I didn't know that. My friend said that his girlfriend does it, and it's fine when you thaw it out. It's just like regular bread. So I thought, well, let's try it. So she was stopping by Target last night. Nope, they were totally out of bread. So she did buy some toothpaste because we had 1 tube left, and we were on our last tube. She goes, that's all we got. Which I got one in my overnight bag, a brand new one. So anyway, one thing I did hear on a channel, a very respectable channel the other day, I believe it was Ice Age Farmer, he said that he had a conversation with someone that works for a major food chain, and they said the problem is not that we can't get the food, that we don't have the food, is that our warehouse workers are, scared to come in, and so we have our warehouse personnel is depleted. So then there's talks of the government taking over things, and the National Guard coming in and having to work and having to escort trucks so they don't get hijacked. I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of fakery out there, but a lot of that is logical. I mean, if these people can't come into work or don't come into work, then how's it get done? And so, I have heard that the government can take over and run the businesses or whatever. And so anyway, guys, we don't want it to get to that point. At my work, we're having abundance of caution. We got a guy that goes around the entire office and warehouse just wiping down all the handles and everything on the hour. My sales calls have been, outside sales calls have been taken out. I've been making trips the last 3 weeks to Oklahoma City and Tulsa. We're opening up that area. So, but out of abundance of caution for my health and for our customers' health, we don't want to go in and be making people uncomfortable. Like, who's this guy coming? So we're just, I'm just working the phones. I'm still driving 3 days a week, and then 2 days a week doing sales. And then once we get the area built up there in Oklahoma City, then that will make this route, 3-day route, become a 5-day route, and then we'll hire another driver. Then I'll be full-time sales, and then that person will be driving. But anyway, I digress. Be careful who you listen to. Trust in God. Pray. Relieve that stress. Get yourself some peace. I called both my son and daughter last week and spoke with them and said, hey, you guys, just make sure that, as you have the money, make sure you're adding up some supplies. And so they both called me yesterday, and they're doing that. They're adding supplies. So, just make sure your loved ones are aware. Make sure that they have what they need. If you have any old folks that live nearby, make sure that they either you can try to do some shopping for them, or share some of what you got. Make sure they've got enough water and food and whatever they need. So anyway, guys, take care, be safe out there, and just love each other, be cool, be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem, and we'll all get through this. I do believe that the government is working to do hopefully everything they can to make it end soon. One of the things I did want to, I'm sorry, I forgot to talk about this. No matter how this started, whether it was a bioengineering thing or whether it was a rat to human food or bat or whatever they said, and no matter where it started, look, it's upon us and we have to deal with it. And late, I guess, in the coming time, we will find out, who goes after who for the responsibility of this thing happening. But don't get tied up in all that. It's just not worth your mental peace. It's just not. So anyway, guys, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you get down, subscribe, so you can get my updated videos, the new videos coming out. Like the video, share the video, comment. I try to respond to all comments, and stay fired up. We'll get through this. Do the best you can. Down below, get in there and say what's going on in your area, what you've seen, the changes in the last week. The changes are taking place daily, really. But just get down and share what's going on. Are you still working? Have you been sent home? What's going on? You know, have you been personally affected? How close has the virus got to you? Just let's have a little community of talk down there. I appreciate it, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Fired up.